Yo, what's up, and welcome back. It is Bigbaddave here again with another Mythic. We're going to be doing this on normal Mythic difficulty, and we're going to be doing more of the souls today, so let's get straight into it. As you approach the first pack of ads, you will need to be wary of a DOT, so a dot, on your character, and I believe that you have to watch out for a spell that one of them casts, so be wary of that. As you progress and move on, you will be met by a larger ad. Usually you meet him along the bridge, and what you're going to want to be aware of is the attack and ability that he uses, which is called Defiant Strike. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get out of his line of sight. He will be targeting a selected area, and what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to make sure that you're not within his path. Otherwise, he's going to come slicing down at you with a massive sword, and he's going to be causing a lot of damage. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to Yermogan, which is the first boss, and the tank needs to make sure that they are on their toes. They need to be using a defensive when they see Dark Smash or Active Mitigation. It's very, very important for the tank to do this, otherwise they're going to be taking some serious amount of damage. Now the tank will use this quite often. The second ability will be Screams of the Dead. Now this will fear all champions. I don't know what the radius is, but it will fear champions if not interrupted, or if not ran out of. No, basically they'll form a circle, and you need to run out of that. Thirdly, Winds of Northrend will blast you back, and it's very important that you don't be hitting the purple swirls around, because that is what the tactics are designed to do. So Northrend is basically trying to push you back into those purple swirls, so beware of that. And that's basically it, guys. That's basically tank and spank. It's the movement kind of boss. When you are aboard the ship, after the first boss, you'll be encountered by a big ugly mother trucker, and he will be someone that you need to be aware of. He will use some sort of green horrible breath that you need to stay away from, and it's very important you do so, because otherwise you will be taking a lot of damage, and it will be difficult for the healers to deal with. So move around with the boss if you are the tank after he's used the breath, because he will leave green puddles on the floor, and that's something that you need to also be aware of too. And once he's down, you will then be able to make your way on to the second boss. And the second boss, I'll just give you a little brief into the kind of abilities that he does, but we'll get straight into that now. So as we move on to the second boss, Heart Baron, he will be using his sphere, as you can see now, to cause damage within a line. It's important that you attack all the summoned shackles that are spawned, as adds a priority in this fight. He will also summon spirits in addition to this, which you will also need to get down as fast as possible. So it's good that everyone's stacked and everyone's in a group, so this can be easily overcome. And that is basically the fight. It's just a rinse and repeat. You also, throughout the whole fight, there will be swirls of purple on the floor. Now you need to make sure that you don't stand in that, because obviously if you do, it will cause yet again some more damage that really the group doesn't need to be taking. So it's basically getting out of the range of his attack that he shoots in a line. Making sure that you're killing the ads. The ads are priority here, guys, and this is what you need to be doing. You need to be making sure that the ads are down, because they can cause trouble for you. And it's easy as that. Once the ads have been tanked and they've been shut down, then it's all game. So just after the second boss, you'll be met by a horde of undead pirates, as you may say, and basically it's important that you have two priority ads. One that is going to be using Bone Chilling Scream, which will fear all within a select radius. You need to make sure that that doesn't get cast, otherwise you're going to be having trouble because it's a very confined space and you don't want to be pulling other packs. So make sure that you're sorting that out and you're interrupting. But I would, most of all, the first priority are I think they're called Mistweavers, and basically you need to be focusing them, you need to be marking them with skull, you need to focus and get them down because they can heal. And it's very important, especially on the higher end difficulty in Mythic and with Mythic Plus. It's very important that they don't heal because they will get healed to full health and it will just cause a lot of trouble for you. So make sure you've got your DPS all focusing on the healers. As you can see here, I have been feared, but I managed to tank quite close to the other end of where the mobs are, so it didn't cause any trouble. But yeah, try and get as much interrupts as possible in there, focusing the Mistweavers and then focusing the big fella who causes fear and scream. Alright, so just before the last boss there will be a so-called mini-boss captain kind of guy. I think his name is Skajal or something along the lines of that. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but anyway, he's basically the captain of the ship, I believe, or at least he's a mini boss anyway. So what he will do is he will spawn skeletons that come from the far end of the ship. Now it's important for tanks to make sure that they're picking up all these adds because you know there are a lot of them and it can be quite a challenge to get all of them. And basically it's just a tank and spank, making sure that all the adds are picked up. AoE is essential here, as well as single target when the skeletons have gone down. And once this guy is finished, we'll be moving on to Helya, which is the final boss. And she's got one of the more interesting tactics, and it's very simple if you know what to do. So I'm going to be demonstrating and talking to you about what needs to be happening, and where you need to be, and positioning is key with the last boss, Helya. So here we are, guys, we're now at the last boss, Helya. Now she is a somewhat I don't know what you call her. She's got tentacles, she's an alien, she's some sea creature that we you know, she's causing mischief. We need to get her down. So in the first phase there will be tentacles that are spawning up above on board, and when they do so, the tank needs to pick them up. After they have died, they will leave a broken a ship placement. Make sure you don't stand in it, because if you do, then this is what will happen. You will get stunned and it will cause a massive amount of damage. Once you have dealt with all the tentacles on board, you then need to go onto the side rails, and you're going to start needing to kill the tentacles on there. And then it's kind of like rotating from on board to off board, and on board and off board, and then basically that'll be phase 1 complete for you guys, and then you will have to move on to phase 2. So in phase 2 she will submerge, and basically tentacles will abrupt themselves aboard, and you're going to have to make sure you do not get hit by them, because otherwise that will yet again cause some unnecessary damage. And then what we'll do is we'll go on to the phase 3, which is submerged ended. So that's the ending of submerge, which is what was so-called a phase. Now she'll use torrent, which can be interrupted by anyone. Usually it's a DPS's job. Now that in Mythic and Mythic Plus does cause a lot of damage, so it is basically essential to be getting that interrupting that. I mean, all of you should have one interrupt, so that should be quite easy as long as people know what they're doing and when they're going to be casting it. Now she will use a second skill, which is the most important. Now this is all about movement and being in the right place. Now it's quite difficult to actually see, but she will either go in the central reservation, or she'll go to the far reservation, or she'll go to the left reservation. You can look at it to see when she's going to be firing it, and she will fire all this purple mist or goo or whatever you want to call it, and you need to make sure you're out of that, because that will kill you. I mean, there's few occasions where it hasn't, and you've been so lucky. I mean, it's happened to me a couple of times when I was new to it and I didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, it can happen to you. You just need to be on your toes. You need to be watching where she's putting her head. If it's going to be in the center, you need to be moving to the left or right. If it's at the left, you need to be moving to the right, and vice versa. If it's on the right hand side, you need to move to the left. Just get out of the stuff. It's very, very important. Now, that's basically it. You just need to be watching the floor, watching your movement, and causing as much damage and chaos as you can. But it is very, very important that you do not get hit by these. And that's the tactics, basically. So, if it's helped you, I really, really hope that it has helped you. Thank you very much for visiting Bigbaddav's YouTube channel. I am Bigbaddave, and we will see you in another Mythic guide. We'll see you later on, guys. Peace. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. I hope that it really did help. If you would like to smash the thumbs up and show your support, that would be greatly appreciated. And make sure that you're smashing that subscribe button to stay tuned for all of the mythics that I do, all the World of Warcraft content, and all that kind of jazz. So, thank you again, guys, and we'll see you next time.